Hi, welcome to Midnight Conversations. This is the second episode. Welcome to my podcast. I hope you liked the last episode. I will have hopefully replied to all your messages by now, but if I didn't, I'm really sorry. I shall reply as soon as possible. And today's episode, I want to talk about comfort and the conversations around comfort. And I know this is such a common topic, but I feel like it is so unapproached in general conversations. When you're trying to comfort a person, especially if you're someone who has a hard time comforting another person, if you're having a hard time feeling the empathy for another person, to empathize with the emotions, and or if you can empathize but you cannot comfort another person, I feel like these are some things you can do, and these are some things that I do, although I'm not sure how much comfort I offer. So the first thing I feel like that we often forget is comfort doesn't necessarily always have to be advice. And I've seen so many women online complain about this regarding men, which it's just if you're a logical person and an emotional person. If you're a logical person, the first thought and first instinct is always to offer advice when someone comes to you with a problem. But the thing about advice is people don't necessarily always want it, nor do they need it. And that is one thing that I think it should be like a publicly understandable thing, or something that everyone should know. Another point is a lot of times people just want you to listen to their complaints, or to listen to whatever they're talking about. And sitting and listening and ensuring that the other person understands, that you're empathizing with them, is really so important in conversations, because I've seen that often. If another person might not necessarily feel it, the entire conversation is pointless. There is no comfort derived from conversations where another person does not understand your feelings. And these are the 2 points that I am guilty of sometimes not being able to implement. But honestly, it is kind of hard to always comfort someone, or to always empathize with another person, and I feel like that is alright. It is alright if you can't empathize with another person, as long as you ensure that they understand, that you do understand their feelings, but you don't necessarily empathize with their feelings. Another point is that comfort doesn't necessarily always have to be affirmations or words. Comfort can be physical, comfort can be hugs, or comfort can be just sitting with that person and giving them that physical sensation of you being there. And that does not necessarily mean holding the person or hugging the person, just being beside that person. And the thing about comfort is it's kind of like love. Everybody has different ideas of it. These are only some of the ways that you can comfort a person. And a lot of times, comfort is necessarily not something you can even help with. Sometimes there's no way for a person to feel the comfort in the conversations, or in the physical sensations, or in just the presence. Sometimes you just have to be uncomfortable with your feelings, or you just have to be uncomfortable with another person's feelings. That's just how it works. Not everyone wants to talk about the feelings, and not everyone wants to listen to an advice, or not everyone wants to share their problems. Sometimes if you see someone crying, you have to leave them alone. And some people might understand the feeling of the reluctance of leaving someone alone and walking away when they're sad. Some people might not. And that's okay. Either way, if you can comfort a person, if you can't comfort a person, or if you haven't felt comfort yourself, It is okay. It is alright. I'm sorry if you've never felt comfort yourself. I find that comfort is quite necessary to be alive. But if you've never been able to give comfort to another person, which is highly unlikely, I think it's okay. It is alright. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Maybe the person you were trying to comfort was one of those people who just had to deal with it on their own. Or maybe there was someone who did not want the comfort at that time. You have to let a person choose what they want. And that is the most important thing about comfort or love, you know. At the end of the day, everything requires communication, and having that communication is really uncomfortable when you're having a bad day or having a problem that you're dealing with. But even if it's hard, you either have to prior have this conversation with your people, or you have to have that conversation with them right then. Because if you don't, they're just not going to end up getting what they wanted, whether it was comfort, physical presence, or nothing at all. It's gonna end up just in a situation where they might have to comfort you instead, which honestly is the worst kind of situation to be in. If you've ever had to be in it, I'm really sorry for that. I'm really sorry that you had to be in that situation. In all of these conversations around comfort, how to comfort a person are not exactly taboo, but at the same time, in an Asian society or in an Indian society where tears are considered something that you only do when you're having, something you only have when someone died or when these major events, life-changing events happen. Conversations never come around comfort. Nobody will tell you how to comfort someone, and it is so incredibly shitty when it's something so important for companionship, something so important for all your relationships. And I find that fact quite irritating, because especially if you're someone who does not understand emotional cues, it's so hard to figure it out, and which is why the episode. So this episode is a little shorter than the other one, but this is all for today's episode. You can leave a comment debating this if you have any debates for this. If you disagree with me, you agree with me, you can leave a comment. That is your choice. If you like the video, then like it. If you dislike it, you can dislike it. Subscribe if you want another episode, which I will hopefully be releasing the next week. I'm trying to keep up weekly updates for this, but I'm not exactly sure that I can, so I will try my best. That is all for today's Midnight Conversations. I will see you again next time. Have a good day, or hope you had a good day. Take care.